traded from the Washington Wizards. Finally, I guess finally, because we've been hearing this talk for like 3-4 years. Real deal Beal, he wanted to stay loyal, like we've seen Damian Lillard do in the Pacific Northwest where Kevin resides. But it didn't work out long term for Bradley Beal staying in Washington, D.C. as a Wizard, as now he resides in Phoenix, Arizona. And so, Kevin, I just want to get your initial reaction to this deal, because as a diehard Sacramento Kings fan, you were not sold on Real Deal Beal.
I was not. I knew the package we were going to have to give up. For those who don't know, the potential Brad Beal to Sacramento trade. Toddy, as soon as Woj put it out there that he was considering maybe lifting his no trade clause to come to Sac, Toddy was in the group chat saying, "Kevin, this is 28 points you didn't have. This, and that." And then, me and Toddy had to have a FaceTime call on the way home from work one day because I was like, "Toddy, I need you to sell me. I'm not a believer. I need you to tell me something that's going to sell me." And just to let you guys know, I still wasn't sold. But Brad Beal to the Suns, I feel like it's going to be huge for them. The biggest thing that the Suns needed when they lost to the Nuggets was depth, and trading away 2 guys for 1 in just mathematical terms is not good for your depth. Bradley Beal last season averaged 23 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. And Toddy's favorite stat, he only played 50 games. Toddy blamed because he was in Washington, he was sitting out or whatever you want to call it. They had Chris Paul with injury problems and missing games. And now you're a Bradley Beal injury away from what? They only have 5 guys under contract as of today. June 19th, they have Bradley Beal, DeAndre Ayton, Kevin Durant, Cameron Payne, and DeAndre Ayton. Those are the 5 guys they have on their roster. So they have a lot to build, but Bradley Beal coming to Arizona, a lot of guys might come sign that vet minimum. It might come be a trampoline. That it's 1 year, you all in. All the vets are going to come out and want to play for them, and all the young guys, like a Lonnie Walker who might not get re-signed. This young guys with chips on their shoulders, it might be a perfect spot for them. But I'm just really upset because as a LeBron fan, I know you guys always get mad at me because somehow all roads lead back to LeBron. But if LeBron James were to do something like this, there people be out there on the street burning jerseys, doing all types of stuff. This is KD's 3rd big 3. Having been in OKC with Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden, going to New York or going to Golden State with KD, Steph, and Clay, and then going back and teaming up with James Harden again alongside Kyrie in Brooklyn. He's played with all these teammates and all these guys, and he's still not able to win. So I'm excited to see what Bradley Beal brings to the table, and hopefully they can get over that hump. But I'm not a believer. You're muted, Shaun.
Appreciate it, Kevin. Thank you. I appreciate it. I was typing away, didn't want to hear the click clack of the keyboard. But what I was saying I was muted.
Click.
Big time click clack. Thank you, Kevin. And so anyways, I just wanted to ask Jaevon, because Jaevon, unlike Kevin and Garry, you are not a LeBron James loyalist. And so I just want to follow up on what Kevin said. Do you think that everyone would be going after LeBron like we're not so much going after KD anymore? KD got like his fair share of it when he went to Golden State, but so did LeBron when he went to Miami. So what do you think about Kevin's thought there, Jaevon?
Well, I think, Kevin's he has a little bit more rage because it was, the Kings. Yeah, you were saying that he was Keegan Murray and Davion Mitchell. You said this. No, I didn't say that. I said it would be nice to, have Bradley Beal on the roster, and you would have to give up some items to get him on the team. I was not opposed to getting rid of Keegan Murray. You guys, that is the craziest shit I ever heard. Oh my God. And I was like, once upon a time, guys, we thought Tyrese Halliburton was the savior of the Sacramento Kings, and nobody ever thought he was ever going to be traded. And I believe that Tyrese Halliburton is better than Keegan Murray, in my opinion. He's already been an all-star. He's played in a few more seasons than him, obviously, but Keegan's got a long way to go. But I was like, it's not out of the realm of possibility, basically. You would probably have to give up a Bradley Beal type. But, it was kind of – Sacramento was sitting in a frenzy that day when he was like, he would waive his no-trade clause to come to Sacramento. And shout out to D'Lo and KC, they were like 30 minutes ahead of the world, I guess, in their own. Shaun actually tweeted that out, which I thought was pretty cool. And it was coincidentally, I was kind of listening to them and talking to Kev about that FaceTime call that he had already, mentioned about it and the whole trade process. But Bradley Beal's a guy that can give you buckets. And we saw in the playoffs, even if Devin Booker and Kevin Durant have to score 40 for them to be able to win games. And apparently they both had to score 40. That's 80 points combined. Bradley Beal can be another 25, 26, 28 points a game, as I already mentioned. Now, last year, he did average 23.2 points per game, about 5 assists. Pretty points per game from about a year ago was about the same. His assists went down last year. I'd say that because of injury. But if you kind of go back to the 2020-2021 season, he averaged 31.3 points. And Kevin's going to say, oh, that was 2 years ago. He's never done that. And he's old and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, hey, let's calm down a little bit. That was the rush year when they went to the playoffs. And, they weren't really supposed to do anything. But we've seen young Brad, when he was with John Wall. They've been in several playoff series. I believe it was about 5 playoff series that they've been to. So their team, he's a guy that I wouldn't say if he's the best player on your team, he's not really going to be as effective. Now, we saw what he could look like as a number 2 option when he played with John Wall. He was very effective. He shot the ball from 3 a lot better, I'd say, in those John Wall years. His 3-point percentage did decline a little bit, but he was a second option. Now he's getting to go with KD and Booker. Technically, as your 3rd option, he's not getting paid for the 3rd option. Let's get that. Let's get that not misconstrued. That money it's coming through. Those deposits are hitting every game. Brad as a 3rd option is going to be crazy. I think he's probably going to be handling the ball a little bit more. So you could have had point Brad, and he's a guy that can get you 26 points a game. Now, I don't know major, but if you could get 90 points from KD, Beal, and Devin Booker on a nightly basis, it's going to be tough to stop. And I think the message that HBO is trying to send is like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to outscore everybody. We don't got to play defense. The league is already offensive-minded, everything. The NBA has kind of been drifting to an offensive-minded league. It's not back to when the Pistons were winning finals by scoring 80 points, scoring 9 points. It's not. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you this 120, and we're going to see if you guys can score 121. If you guys can score more than 120 points a night, because that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be scoring, putting up buckets, night in and night out. So I think Bradley Beal is a great addition. It's going to be tough because, these 3 guys are pretty much the team. And Shaun already said, well, this is a group chat talk. Shaun was saying that I don't believe DeAndre Ayton's going to be on this team, just based off, past experiences. But I did see a report come out right before the podcast. This is via Hoops Hype. Monty Williams did not like Jay Crowder or DeAndre Ayton. He was saying how he didn't like them around. It was kind of a cancer in the locker room. I'm kind of paraphrasing everything what was said. But he wanted to trade those guys, and they tried to. But, for Indiana, and Miles Turner was, kind of in the mix for that. But the Suns ended up matching that offer sheet, and, him being restricted free agent, could say, all right, I can't. I'm going to leave. Me and Kevin had a whole nother conversation about Jaylen Brown. We'll get into that later. But I think, as far as the way that this team is constructed, I think those 4 guys are making like about $164 million, and it's a lot of cash between 4 guys. And given with the whole new CBA and everything, it's going to be tough to kind of round out this roster. So what I think, just kind of by default, I think DeAndre Ayton is going to be a trade package that they'll try to figure out how to round out the rest of the roster. And yeah, Brad going to the Suns is scary. The odds shifted for them, not too crazy, because I am a gambler. I have to sprinkle that gamblingness a little bit. They're plus 800 before the Bradley Beal trade. I believe now they're plus 650. So not too much of a crazy jump, but they're like, all right, Brad's on the team now. It's another guy who can go 25, 26 points a game that you could get from him. I think Brad's gonna have a career year. I think he'll be All-Star this year. You'll have 3 All-Stars from this team for sure.
So now going to a couple of our YouTube comments at youtube.com/statsoverpolitics. Just a message for anyone who tunes in. We appreciate those of you who are locked in right now. While you're here, if you're enjoying the show, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to help us continue to grow. Our guy Evan is tuned in, says, the effing guys. I drop F-bombs on this podcast all the time, but for some reason I decided to say effing that time. Our guy Marcellus, he says I made it.
Oh my god.
Says horrible connection, Tot.
Damn.
Is that Kev or Amarion?
Oh, damn. I didn't see that. That's nuts.
Marcellus got a lot to say. Do you have anything to say in response to that, Kevin?
Damn, now I gotta go put on my do-rag, man. I'm just trying to be like Toddy. I'm trying to catch up.
He did not say Mario.
But
now-
in breaking news, fellas, we have some news that we have to share with the world. What's that say, fellas?
91.
Woo!
Last week we were celebrating 80.
The climb. And who do we have to thank for that content, Jaevon? Who do we have to thank?
Kev. I'm saying Kev.
I was about to say, yeah.
No,
that's on Kev.
This guy.
Well, the
Gary and Toddy's takes.
And so the YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter audience has already seen this man emerge. Those of you who are tuned in via audio, you are now hearing his voice come into your ears. None other than Mr. Garry Singh. How are we doing, Gary?
What's up with the guys? Look, Kev trying to catch up, and I heard Vaughn already say guaranteed 3 All-Stars on the Suns already. So start writing notes, man. Start writing notes.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
sorry,
what do
you
you?
put that in notes. I guess I could, sure. It's noteworthy. I didn't think that was notebook-worthy, but okay.
It's going. The West is
I
stacked.
honestly didn't think it was notebook worthy either, but I'm gonna jot it down. By the way, now that the NBA playoffs have completed themselves, don't think that I have forgot about this entire sheet right here, which is all playoff predictions. Like you see the headline,
Time for the
NBA
fresh
playoff preview. Okay, yeah, well, we got the fresh sheet. Okay, we got Vonnie's hotline right here. We'll have to revisit that another week potentially. But anyways, the point is of me bringing up the playoff preview is that I still need to take accountability on this, and I still need to jot up all the statistics from it, because on this piece of paper it says Shaun Nuggets in 5, Jaevon Nuggets in 5. We all know that Jaevon backed out on his pick, but the paper still says it, so that'll go towards his percentage. And then we got all these other picks from all throughout the playoffs, so I'll do that in the next week, and I will report back. Because, Kevin, you know how Garry, his excuse in the pop quiz is, oh, man, the no sheet, I hit on all those. I hit on every single one.
Hey,
I hit on all my
see,
predictions. We will see.
Only
Real
one that's
quickly,
hating
though.
is the Knicks one, though. I bet against the Heat every round, so that's gonna get me.
Hey, you and everybody else in the world.
Yeah, that's gonna get me. So,
and I was fooled and picked them in the finals. I was fooled again.
And
Kevin, when you gave us your reasoning, you were like, I picked against Miami in the first round, second round, third round. I can't pick up against them again. I was like, man, you should do it. And that's why I was so happy that you were on Heat Island, because I jumped ship. I was out of that thing. But anyways, Garry, we got Kevin and Jaevon's thoughts on this real deal Bradley Beal trade to Phoenix. You think that Jaevon might be a little crazy for saying guaranteed 3 All-Stars?
Make us famous again, Kev.
I'm going to write it on the sheet right now, but what do you think about this trade overall, Garry?
No, I don't think Vaughn was too crazy, but I was like, it's going to be a tough one, though. Like, Bradley Beal for sure is an all-star caliber player, but I'm just talking about, I don't know, when's the last time someone got 3 in my life? I feel like it's been
Golden State Warriors.
I mean, like the last 3-4 years, like,
okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. Other than since,
I thought you were going to say in my lifetime.
No, obviously it was for sure. Like the Heatles got, I think Bosch waiting there a couple times, obviously. Ginobili, Parker, I'm pretty sure got in there a couple times. So for sure, there's been 3 guys. And I'm just talking about it's pretty stacked, man. It's going to be pretty stacked. It's pretty tough to get 3 nowadays.
Didn't the Heatles have all 3? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got all 3 too. So I'm saying it's pretty tough though. So especially with so many duos now in the league. And so I feel like now we also have 1 through 10 that's really good. Instead before I used to be like 1 through 6 used to be really good. So and in terms of this Beal trade, let's take it from the Wizards side real quick. Just a dumb trade. Like I feel like they could have got so much more, but I understand they were in a predicament because Bradley Beal has a no trade clause, so he had a lot of the leverage in the situation, which I'm pretty sure Kev, Vaughn, and you guys were already probably chopping up about. But I would say that still, I feel like, we've been throwing trades in our group chat all day. I've been peeping them all the time. And I feel like they had way more better trades that they could have maybe got something done with Beal. But maybe if Beal kept denying and just really chose the Suns, and I mean, they could have said, all right, you're just going to stick here with us. But I guess, the new GM being there, them trying to start off fresh, I just feel like man, it's like Phoenix, bro. Congratulations. You guys literally traded for CP3, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal like within last 3-4 years. So how many picks do you guys got? Like what is going like I was like all second round picks. It was pretty shocking trade to be honest. I don't know. I think I seen like somebody rate their trade, I guess a D or something like that. You know, everyone's personal ratings, whatever. But I would say it's a little low level trade for them, but I can see why they did it if they just want to dump the money. But on the Suns side, I know we've all been talking about lately just about this new CBA, the new CBA that the NBA is going to have and how it's going to affect teams that try to get big threes. But hey, I know everyone wants to say the bench, this and that and stuff like that. But let's keep in mind, this team did take the Nuggets to 6, if I believe correct, and they were down 2-0, and Booker and Kevin Durant had a scoring montage just to even keep them in the series, and I know that might have to do it again, but add Beal to that mix, where I think, like, I'm pretty sure these three guys really want to win a championship. They want to bring a championship, first championship for Book, first championship for Beal, third championship for KD, and bring the first one, I'm pretty sure, to the Phoenix Suns organization. So I feel like they're going to probably step it up on defense, and those guys got a lot of dog in them too in their own sense. So I feel like, and defensively, I know a lot of people are probably worried about that, but I feel like they're going to be able to match. Only key thing in every big three, Kev, Shaun, you guys know every big three. You've heard the stories from D-Wade, from every big three that has came together. Someone's going to have to take a back seat. And it's looking like Bradley Beal, but we're gonna see. You're the new man. I think is he the second highest paid? I'm pretty sure he might be the first highest paid with his deal because he had a big dog deal. So
shit, they're all on maxes.
Exactly. So it's gonna be on James Jones and the GM to really hitting all cylinders on those next 7 roster spots to really get some primetime guys to come for cheap, kind of like what the Heat did. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of similar to how big things were built before, but now, as we know, the new CBA, they've been saying that's gonna really hit on teams that are really trying to do this. So, hey, shout out to the Suns. Obviously, new owners coming. Shout out to the Suns for, swinging big. And I think they're going to be something to be reckoned with. I know, they're going to be, quote-unquote, top-heavy, but the Suns were already good before, and I feel like they got 3 superstars. I think it's just going to take time for them to match, and I think all these guys are going to make it happen. So, I would expect to see them in the finals.
Do you think they trade Aiden?
I think they could if they want to get a little more depth, but to be honest, Aiden's going to have the easiest job getting money. He should be saying, I'm going to do whatever you guys want, clean up all of this, play the ultimate 5 positions, just play the ultimate guy who's doing everything, the Swiss Army knife for this team, and he's going to be rewarded in that. It's going to be really easy for him. He's going to have a lot of good looks. He can't get double teamed in the paint. Oh, no. So, you know what I'm saying? If he gets, takes next level up in his game, which I think he should because he's been climbing every year. So I feel like that. I think he should stay personally. Now, I think that decision is going to be more made, Kev, on if the Phoenix Suns choose him or depth, which – but their team, they might want to choose depth just because, as we know, KD has been a little injury prone. Beal the last few years, I don't know if he's been injured, obviously, but when you have something more to play for, you tend to play more. You know what I'm saying? So I would hope that he's probably going to aim to be healthy like every player, but still, little injury issues last few years. And Devin Booker, he's been having a little knick-knack. So I think that if I was them, I would more lean to maybe trading. I think Ayton to get a little more depth, but I wouldn't be opposed, Kev, to. Man, they got 4 guys who are going to be top notch right there. Then and there, just plug 2 more guys and they're ready to go. What else do you need here?
I mean, to be honest, though, do you really think that Bradley Beal would be the third option? Because to me, what Garry was just saying is that KD has been injured.
Who's the driver?
And KD, it would be Book. Yeah, it's
Book. Finish that thought, y'all. Hold on. See, I don't think a lot of players would. I know it's Book's home. His team started. I would agree, but again, that the conversation that you charge Barkley on them, do the sports conversation of, I don't know, the best player on the team, I think is KD. I don't know why he wouldn't be.
In 2018, they asked Devin Booker at the end of the season his thoughts on the future of the Suns. He said, "I would love to build a super team, but that super team's got to come to me." He's the driver. KD rides shotgun and Brad Beal's in the back seat. But Devin Booker.
So we're already making taking shots at KD.
I wouldn't say Brad in the back seat. He's like in the middle console.
Hold on.
But as soon as they lose, if they ever lose, the only person they're going to slander is Kevin Durant. So I see why Garry would say it's Kevin Durant. But personally, I would say the best player right now, going to give me more games, more played, more defense. You get more playmaking. I'm going to say the best player on this team is Devin Booker.
Oh,
But I can see the Kevin Durant argument.
I don't know, Kev. That might be a TikTok click because, man, I think KD's for sure the better player on this team. I would say the fan love is obviously going to be towards Book because he's homegrown. You know what I'm saying? Him, but it's kind of is that. I'm not gonna lie, and you know me, I'm a LeBron fan. You know what I'm saying? I love Kevin Durant as well, but I'm a LeBron fan. So what's the difference then, Kev? I'm just wondering because I have to be the DA right now, even though I hate doing this to you, Kev. But you're gonna have to back.
You do it every week. You don't hate it.
I hate it, but because I don't want to ask him this question. So what's the difference you think? Quick off the top of the head, between LeBron being in Miami and being Dwayne Wade's team, and KD coming to Phoenix, and that's being Book's team. We all consider that LeBron's, that 1A. He was head honcho. He's the best player on the team. Why aren't you kind of giving the same love you think on KD's part right now?
Respectfully.
Hold on, Kev, I got you.
Go get him. Handle my light with me.
I'm just wondering. It's a question. Don't act like it's for me.
Hold on. When LeBron went to Miami, he was coming off MVP years. Yeah. He was coming off taking his team to the finals by himself, playing with Boobie Gibson, losing to Dwight Howard and all this other stuff. LeBron was still at the peak of his powers, approaching his prime. I think it was 20-something, 20. When LeBron won his first title, Kev? How old was he?
2012.
Oh, how old was he?
Yeah.
28, 29.
He was
27.
He was 28 years old. This is LeBron. This was LeBron goes to Miami. He's the villain. Everybody realized Cleveland Cavalier LeBron, his first stint, he was literally dunking every single thing, getting to the basket. You could not stop this guy. He was literally unstoppable. He goes to Miami. It's the legit same thing. Now D Wade, I get where Garry is coming from. It's D Wade's team, Wade County, all that whole other crazy stuff. D Wade was kind of approaching that age. He was more on the back burner of his career. Kevin Durant, albeit he was traded.
No.
Kevin Durant was traded.
Back burner of his career. Okay, everything you said was correct until you said that one thing.
Just hopped
That's
on
the only thing. I know.
Flash.
He was it wasn't 06, bro. It wasn't 06 D Wade.
Nah, he was 2 years away from knee injury. Then he was done.
Because D Wade was getting hurt. He was hurt on and off in a bunch of those final series when they were playing,
especially at the end. Yeah.
So LeBron was kind of all right, this is kind of my team in a sense. D Wade was the guy that was all right, LeBron's coming here for a reason. The reason why they were title contenders because LeBron joined the team, and they ended up getting Chris Bosh on the way too. So
they title contenders because Kevin Durant's on the team, though.
Yeah.
What was Book doing prior to this?
I can give you 30. I'm here if you need me, but I'm not going to be carrying the team. That's not what Kevin Durant's here to do. He's the guy that's all right, I can still get you a bucket. D-Book's going to be the guy that's going to be putting in all the work. This is kind of everything that's built around him. This is his team. Like you said, he was drafted here. He was 18 years old when he was drafted to the Phoenix Suns. Shaun knows how I feel about Devin Booker and how good I think he actually is.
I ain't gonna lie. You think it's built around Book or you think it's built around KD? Because why would they go get Beal?
He's approaching
because Beal's another 2 guard. You would think they would get another. You know what I'm saying? Another point guard.
He's up
34. He's 34.
So
I'm just waiting to make my point. It's okay.
Go ahead, Shaun. Shaun's ready to cook too. My bad.
He's not a guy that you can rely on to play 82 games in a season. But when the playoffs come, KD was probably going to be right. We already saw Kevin Durant slip on a banana peel when he was already in Phoenix for 10 days, 5 games he played, and then all of a sudden,
who's the best player on the team, Vaughn? Real quick. Kev said, I say KD's the best player on the team. It might be Book's team, quote unquote, however you want to put it, but KD's the best player on this team. Kev said he got Book as the best player and his team. What you think, Vaughn and Shaun? Who's the best player on the team and whose team is it? I think whose team is pretty obvious, kind of. But
Devin Booker.
Both for both?
Booker, KD, Beal. And Beal is a guy that can literally get you 25 a night. And he doesn't have obviously doesn't have a problem because he just got traded there. But he's all right, I don't have to carry this team like he was in Washington. He felt like these last couple of years, it's damn, I got to carry everybody here. And we kind of saw where that got them. They made it to the playoffs. When it was literally just Bradley Beal by himself, it was kind of you're not really going to make the playoff. But when Russ came that year, and Russ was playing pretty good, by the way, when he was traded to D.C., he didn't start the year off pretty well, but kind of finished the season off strong. When Bradley Beal averaged 30, they ended up pushing to get to the 8th seed. So that's pretty much as good as it'll be when Bradley Beal is your best player on the team. But now you have, Kevin Durant's on my team. Oh, Devin Booker's also on my team. It's going to be tough to guard all three of these guys at one point in time. Now, at the same time, they might not be able to stop anybody. But like I said, they're going to try and score more points than the other team. That's pretty much what it's looking like that they're trying to do.
Okay, so Kevin Durant is 34 years old. He's going to be 35 when the season starts.
Yes.
Bradley Beal, 29 years old. Devin Booker, 26 years old.
Buckets.
This is Devin Booker's team. And I don't think that that's a crazy thought. Kevin and I, we agreed on that. But where I think I will be on an island by myself, and this is what I tried to say earlier, is that I truly don't think that it's crazy to say that Kevin Durant is now the third best player on this team. Because if he takes a step back and he allows for the young talent that is on that team, and if he lets them become the number one and the number two, or the 1A and the 1B, and Kevin Durant, if Kevin Durant is your third option, you are going to win a championship. And
oh my God.
Stats over politics, right?
Hey,
no one wants to.
Shaun,
Hey,
I got next.
Let him preach. Let him preach. Let him preach.
So
no, it's not preaching.
in stats over politics, right, Gary? Let me give you some stats. 2018, 2019, Kevin Durant's last season in Golden State before he blew out his Achilles, right? Then he comes back after taking a full season off. He comes back. He plays 35 games in the 2020-2021 season. The second season, he plays 55 games. Last season, 47 games. I understand Jaevon's greater point about when the playoffs start, he's going to be there. But because of the banana peel, the metaphorical banana peel that we keep referencing back to, that he didn't actually slip on, like he just slipped on a wet spot on the ground, or he just slipped when he was going up for a layup. Why did he slip?
Lines.
Because he's 34 years old now. If he takes a step back, and if Kevin Durant is your third option, that is the best version of this team. You disagree with me now, but when you see the product on the court, you'll come back and you'll say, Shaun was right. I'll break out the fucking notepad for myself.
Put on a notebook.
No, you're saying no.
That shit.
No, Shaun is saying that KD is the third best player, not that KD would step back and be a third. If KD wants to step back, he could. You're
He's going to be 35 years old, Gary. Not everyone is as magical as LeBron James.
Kevin Durant is going to be like that, okay? Because Kevin Durant is a sniper. I can't believe I'm over here. Why are we disrespecting my man, Kevin Durant? He literally, I guarantee you,
35 years old, almost.
I guarantee you, Bradley Beal and Devin Booker are gonna. Here you go, Katie. Here you go, Katie. Go ahead. Go to the post, Katie. Go to the elbow, Katie. Rise above and shoot and snipe them away. I guaranteed. And when y'all start talking about third best player, trying to make him like he was gonna be Kevin Love. No disrespect to K Love. He played that role.
I didn't say that.
You're putting words in my mouth now.
I didn't say that.
Third best player. That's what you think. The third best player averaging 30. You know that, right? That's not how this is about to go. So the third best player is going to average what about Shaun? About like 20. Kevin Durant ain't averaging 20 unless Kevin Durant says, all right, guys, I'll relax. I'll do that. But why would he do that? This is the guy who has 2 rings, okay? This is the guy who's been to multiple finals. This is the guy – I know, and I'm a LeBron fan, but this is like you guys say, it's stats over politics always, even though I'm really politicking for my guy KD right now.
I'm just waiting for you to finish.
Because I'm just like, there's no way. Yeah, you should for sure clip that third person take, because there's no way. I don't think no one would say that Kevin Durant is the third best player on this team if he wanted to be, but no one's automatically, let's rank this team. Who's the best straight? No. KD's getting 1 or 2, and most definitely you could take the age out of it. If y'all walk on 1-on-1 or anything like that, you're taking KD straight up. So I don't know how you can put him third. Bradley Beal is really the man. No, he's great too. Like Jaevon said earlier, he could drop 30, 50. He's been multiple games. He's the ultimate scorer in this league right now. But he's the one that's going to take the biggest sacrifice, and he's the one that's going to probably be the third best player on this team, which is no knock against him. But I think unless KD, like you said, Shaun, steps back, I think naturally he should step forward with him and Book. and who really wants to close. But I really feel like we've seen Kevin Durant close many times, so I think he should be the best player, at least the first or second best player, 1A, 1B at least. He's not even sniffing third unless he wants to be.
Who's the lineup? Well, I could just think what my lineup would be. You could start Brad at the 1, Book at the 2. You could have KD at the 3. You could have Londale at the 4 and 8.
We could wait a couple months, Ron. They still got to get that 7-8 roster spots.
It might be Payne, Beal, Book, KD, and Ayton. That's probably what the 5 would be.
Russell Westbrook as your starting point guard.
Hey,
that'd be crazy.
Kevin laughed at me when I said rest to the playoff rest wasn't a real thing.
Hey, that'd actually be good because Beal likes him. He played with him before. KD played with him before. We got snipers everywhere. That'd be cool for Russ.
That gives me 03, 04. What's it called?
I feel bad for Chris Paul then. It's like, damn.
They're not that old. They're not that old, Jaevon. Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook are nearing that age of that team, but the other half of the team with Booker, as I mentioned, 26 years old. Bradley Beal, 29 years old.
Referencing the age. So in the playoffs about experience. So next year, what is Shaun? He's falling off a cliff. You pulling Max Kellerman? He's falling off a cliff next year, Shaun?
No, see, you just putting words in my mouth.
I'm just asking you. I'm asking you. That was a question.
So I keep saying that it's 2023, Gary. When we're talking all time, Kevin Durant is a top 10, top 15 player all time. If we're talking about right now going into this season, which this season doesn't just start in 2023, it goes into 2024. In 2024, Kevin Durant is going to be 36 years old. So what I wrote on the notepad, so when I reference back to this, Gary doesn't try to say, oh no, that's not what you said. I just want to make sure that everyone knows exactly what I just wrote on the notepad. So earlier, Jaevon, I wrote the Phoenix Suns will have 3 All-Stars, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker. Jaevon said that. And what I just wrote for myself is, here's the thing. KD should be the 3rd best player on the Suns for them to win a championship.
No, you said he is.
Kevin Durant averaged 29 points.
No, you said he is. You said how you worded that. No. He said he is the 3rd best player on his team. You just went through his age. You went through everything. I just said, yeah, that's the same thing I'm saying. That he should. So that's like saying if he wants to be. Hey, I'm just trying not to talk over anyone. Not remember that's why I'm waiting. 2 years ago on 1 foot dropping 50. God, man.
How many years ago? How many years ago?
2 years.
Oh, years, not one. Years, plural. Okay.
That's not that far away, Shaun.
Hey, guess what? He wears a size 18, and they lost. Guess what? They lost. My point is, Gary, I'm saying right now with this trade, Kevin Durant should be the 3rd best player. Could he be the 2nd best player? 1st best player? Yeah, he could. No, but if Bradley Beal is going to be real deal Beal that I've called him 4 or 5 times in the first 40 minutes of this podcast, then he shouldn't be the 3rd option. Because to me, a 3rd option Bradley Beal is standing in the corner just waiting for them to throw him the ball. Kevin Durant will get his. You need to worry about prioritizing.
So if you want to make it function right and KD wants to do that, yeah, I can see him doing that. But if we're looking at it on a piece of paper, KD's the best player in the world, and I'm putting all the pressure on KD. KD needs to get this is the year he's been with Kyrie. He's been with all the iterations of big threes you want to put together. We all know he won championships with Golden State. He's been with Russell Westbrook. He's been with James Harden. He's been with Kyrie. Who else did he be? He was Booker and Chris Paul last year. He's been with many iterations. KD needs to get next year. We want to check about KD needs not one. I think however you want to put KD should be the favorite, and those Phoenix Suns. I'll make it better. Phoenix Suns should be the favorite to win the championships next year, as long as with the. Or you could say, I would say Denver could be a little bit ahead of them, but I would say they're neck and neck to be the favorites in the West. And at this moment, right, they should be the favorites in the West, and they should be one of the top 2 teams to be favored for the championship next year. That's what the team's expectation of this team. Anyone disagree with that? I don't think so.
So, Gary, it sounded like earlier that you wanted me to make a statement rather than a hypothetical. So here's your statement, because I can recognize that despite Kevin Durant playing 47 games last year, that he averaged 26 points per game, and he averaged that on on 50% from the field. I'll pull up Bradley Beal stats.
You didn't
just
play
for
that
you.
much either, brother.
Played 50 games.
Average
All right,
22
three more.
points. 22.1.
3 more games.
That's more. Still more. Hey, but
So the
still
playoff
more.
games and they're even then. Oops, that must have burnt.
Why would it burn me?
Because
like I'm a
Beal
Wizards
didn't make the playoffs. Beal didn't make the
What
playoffs.
stops
That's why.
this?
I didn't know that I was a Wizards fan.
I'm not talking.
Go
That
ahead,
wasn't for
Jaevon.
you,
Suns
Shaun.
team from winning championship. Is it health? Is it the bench? What kind of stops this team from winning the championship? Is it the West? The Nuggets? What is it?
I say a floor general. They still need that floor general. Cameron Payne's not the option. He's not the answer.
Campaign. All right.
I like that.
So not concerned about the bench, just kind of just being it's around. I'd reckon there would probably
They got a Celtics problem.
And so one of those guys is going to be on the floor at all times. Two, maybe one. Someone's gonna. They'll probably rotate it to where someone's going to be staying in on the floor at all times.
Well, one thing that I need to recognize for our audio-only listeners is that our friend Alex on YouTube says Gary's speaking facts. So apparently I'm wrong. Gary's
Appreciate
speaking
you,
facts.
Alex.
We appreciate you tapping in with us, Alex. So, guys, unless there's anything that's left to be said about Bradley Beal, let's move on to our favorite moment from the Nuggets championship parade. I thought it was a pretty entertaining parade, which is why I thought that this would be worthy to talk about for at least a couple minutes.
I know what Cameron's was.
So what was it, Jaevon?
Oh yeah, it was definitely Michael Malone at the podium. It was like, "Hey, we're not retiring. We want another one."
That wasn't at the parade.